Hey everyone, I just read Deltoraquest, The Forests of Silence, and wow, that was a trip down memory lane. I have no idea if you can even purchase the books in this series individually anymore, but that's the way I'll be reviewing them. It's a book about the kingdom of Deltora that finds itself conquered by the evil Shadow Lord and 16-year-old Leaf who finds himself on a quest to restore the magical belt of Deltora and save the day. The pros? The world building in this series is fantastic. It starts out as a pretty familiar knockoff of Tolkien, but really comes into its own as the book and the series goes on. Deltora is a horrible place to live with a bunch of crazy and creative monsters like the Grey Guards and the Akbaba that serve the Shadow Lord, and it feels unique in a way that a lot of other kids' fantasy books don't. I really enjoyed the adventure into the titular Forests of Silence, even if it takes a long time to actually reach them. It feels like something right out of Dark Souls, complete with a boss fight against an ancient knight waiting at the center of the woods. And I really liked the main trio of Leaf, Barda, and Jasmine. None of them are perfect people, but they all make up for each other's flaws with their own strengths, and they're much more compelling characters than Jared and Endon from the first half of the book. The cons? This book is already pretty short, but it stumbles right out the gate by basically being two novels in one. The first half is more or less prologue for the rest of the series, while the second half is the actual start of the adventure, and the pacing as a result is really terrible. On that note, the first half of the book just isn't that interesting to read about. I understand it has to be there, but the characters just aren't as compelling as the trio of Leaf, Barda, and Jasmine, and its payoff is still many novels in the future at this early stage. And the Shadow Lord is incredibly boring as an antagonist. He's not even a character like Sauron is. He's just an off-page plot device to give the adventure an excuse to happen, and given how the villains in this series are generally pretty good, the fact that the ultimate big bad is such a wet fart is definitely disappointing. I have a lot of nostalgia for this series, so maybe take these reviews with a grain of salt, but if you're looking for a dark epic fantasy series aimed at kids, look no further. It was great back then, and it still holds up now in my opinion. This first entry might be a little rough, but stick with it. It might surprise you. And I'm giving The Forests of Silence a B. What did you think of the book? Let me know in the comments down below, and while you're there, why not leave a suggestion for what I should read next? I promise I'll get to it eventually. If you liked the review and want to see more, please like, subscribe, and share the video around. I'd really appreciate it. Thanks for watching.